I'm doing good. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm hanging in there, and we're at the finish line. Sting's career. It's going to be an amazing week. I don't know. The fact that this man's career is ending the way it is speaks volumes to what AEW and Tony Khan has allowed him to do. Because it's no secret. Sometimes in the wrestling business, it'll just chew you up and spit you out and leave you with jack shit. So it's kind of
Yeah.
cool that they let this man go out on his own terms, and so it's really cool to be a part of.
Darby, I was reading the Players Tribune article you wrote, and I thought that was awesome. And I love the story about the first time you met Sting, and you think this guy is a legend, and he's gonna, maybe he's gonna be too big for you, and not concerned about what a young guy who's new in the business thinks. That's not how it was at all. If anybody hasn't read that story, and I'd encourage everyone to go read it, but if they haven't, why don't you talk about just how great personally, before we get into the match, just how great personally Sting has been towards you and how well he's treated you?
Yeah, so like my whole thing by being around Sting that I pick up and like left with the most is how he is outside the ring. Like he's the most humble guy ever. Like literally the most chill
Yeah.
dude ever. I've met a lot of people in wrestling that have done far less than he ever has, and they have the biggest heads. And the fact that like he's so cool and he's just like at peace with himself, like that's awesome to see because I inspire to be like that. I don't want to lose myself in this whole thing, and 20 years from now, look in the mirror and don't even know who the hell I am anymore.
Yeah.
Sting can like he's so grounded. It's like it's awesome to see. So I take that. It's very inspiring.
Right. Many decades from now, you probably be in his position, and maybe with the experience that you had with him as a young guy, then you mentor, the future young guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I have no idea if I'm going to live to be 65. We'll see. But yeah,
Well, let's hope
yeah,
so.
yeah. Let's hope so. But yeah, like no, it's just yeah, it's very cool to see that he's so giving. He's almost too
Yeah.
giving. He forgets he's Sting. There's times he forgets he's Sting, and it's awesome. It's like I don't know. Can't say anything but the best.
Right. All right. Well, now focusing on the ring, I mean, how cool is it for you personally? I mean, do you ever pinch yourself and say like, "Wow, I'm actually going to be part of his final match"? And obviously, Revolution, huge event. What about as Darby the wrestler? How special is this for you?
Oh no, it's awesome because like I try not to make it about myself at all. Like when it comes, I just want to make sure that this man's career ends with the respect it deserves, and it's cool to be a part of this whole end. Because I feel like the biggest part of a wrestling career is the end. If you shit the bed on the end, man, people are always gonna remember that. They're like, oh, he should have hung up the boots years ago.
Right.
But like I convinced Sting to come back and wrestle, so I feel like it's my duty to make sure that he doesn't embarrass himself. Because if I was the one to like tell him, hey man, you need to get out of retirement and step back in this ring, and he listened, like it's like, dude, I can't make him go out there and embarrass himself. So I'll stop at nothing Sunday to make sure he ends his career with on a good note. And I always said it. If a sacrifice must be made, I'll do it. I'll go out there and do some gnarly shit. So.
I know there's no doubt that you would do that for him. You've wrestled for titles. You've been in big matches. Is this the biggest for you, Darby?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's the biggest. There's gonna be so much like lapsed fans
Yeah.
going seeing AEW for the first time, and then like just the legacy that this man has had on in wrestling. He's been around longer than I've been alive, like on top of
Incredible.
the wrestling
It's
industry.
amazing.
So it's really cool to be like a part of it. And yeah, it's definitely my biggest match, and I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'll stop at nothing to prove my loyalty to like what I feel about the match.
It's funny. I was thinking about it earlier. You have a guy who maybe plays in the NBA and is a star. Maybe he's around for 10, 11, 12, 13 years. But right, Sting. I mean, almost 4 decades, and 4 decades on top. It's really amazing when you think about it like that.
Yeah, no, it's gnarly, and I think a lot of it just goes with his work ethic
Yeah.
that he's so giving and willing to like give, and you know, uh, I feel like people just see the hospitality in him, and he's just a legit good guy, and
Yeah.
you want someone like that to succeed after all these years. Yeah, so it's awesome that he's been able to go to all these different companies and like be in the top spot and all these. So it's cool, like, and I feel like with AEW, like I don't know, it's just the whole run. It's been his way, like what he's wanted to do. He's never been told what he had to do. It's like, what do you want to do? And I think that was really refreshing for him to be a part of like that.